personally experienced this event, and it was the most terrifying memory that I would never forget. I relocated to the city in 2008 to begin my first year of college. I shared a dorm room with Chow, a buddy from my hometown. I wanted to go to the beach to play after cleaning the room, so I asked Chow, "Hey, do you want to go somewhere? Or let's go to the beach for a walk." But because Chow packed so much luggage, he didn't completely tidy his stuff and didn't want to go out, so I had to go out by myself. As a person who lived in the highlands, I had a great desire to see the sea, and I registered in this institution because I wanted to live near the water. When I arrived at the beach, gorgeous views exceeded my expectations. I didn't anticipate the sea to be this beautiful, and everything transpired in front of me as if it were a dream. The chilly sea breeze rushed past. I was able to see numerous flocks of seagulls soaring around, which felt fantastic. The sound of the sea crashing on the coast, followed by the sound of powerful waves, gave me a completely different sensation than that enormous rivers I've witnessed. The huge sandy beach and the raging waves created an experience that was difficult to express by words. My soul was now soothed in peace. It was also late afternoon and numerous seabirds and seagulls were chirping and flying around. I still didn't want to leave. The water had sucked me in, so I strolled east on the smooth sand. There were a few huge boulders, so I took off my shoes and sat on one, looking out at the lovely seascape. The setting sun painted the water surface a brilliant crimson color. All of them were in such a harmony. That gorgeous ocean made me forget about time. Everything appeared to come to a halt. I sat for more than 2 hours in such awe-inspiring surroundings. I didn't get up and go until the sun had completely set and the night sea wind made me feel cold. But at this very time, I discovered a serious problem. Something piqued my interest. Many beaches and coral reefs behind me had vanished. How come they just vanished all of a sudden? It made me so curious. Then I realized that the sea fluctuated with the tides and tide level might be high by now. I was standing on this reef watching the waves rise higher and higher behind me. I calmed myself and looked cautiously, gently getting into the water and saw that it was already up to my waist. Concerned that the tide might rise even sooner, I hastily raced to the coast, walked into the sea without caring about my clothes getting wet, and discovered another problem. I thought the waves would simply soak my pants a bit, but with only a couple more waves hitting me, drenching my entire body, I found a large cut on my foot. But I couldn't worry too much at the moment since I was so terrified and my foot was bleeding, so I hurried up to the coast. I attempted to run as fast as I could back to my dorm, trembling from the cold. Fortunately, after a few minutes, I arrived. Did you go to view the sea or did you take a swim? You're drenched, Chow inquired, seeing that I was soaking wet. But when he spotted me passing by, he suddenly became terrified. He was trembling, a look of horror on his face, and he pointed at me, stammering, Behind you! Why is there a woman behind you? Chow claimed there was a woman with long hair wearing yellow clothes sitting on my back. It was quite an unpleasant feeling, but I didn't realize there was anything heavy on me. Which woman? Are you sure? Chow? I unconsciously looked back after hearing Chow's remarks, and there was nothing behind me. Chow sat up uneasily, looking behind me and seeing nothing. He couldn't believe he was wrong because the woman's form was clearly visible. I merely told Chow that perhaps I caught a cold from the seawater, so I went to bed early to relax. What I believed was a cold turned out to be a virus that could have killed me if it hadn't been identified in time. I overslept that day. I developed a high fever, couldn't get out of bed for 2 days, and experienced agony all over my body after taking the medicine, which scarcely worked. My classmates rushed me to a hospital near the school for emergency treatment. I still have a high fever after 3 days of infusion in the hospital, and my classmates were quite concerned. They wanted to inform my parents so that they could come to take care of me. Fortunately, on the 4th day, I was gradually improving. The fever was still present, but my mind felt much better. But that day, Chow observed something that startled him while watching TV in the school infirmary, as I was still chatting to the guy next to me. "A woman's corpse discovered in the sea." A drowning accident was being reported on a local TV news show. It came out that the foreign female was trapped on the beach and died because of falling into the sea. A week later, her body was discovered on the beach, and the place where the body was discovered was where I was stuck that day. Even worse, Chow noticed that the girl on TV resembled the girl whom I carried on my back the other day, who had long hair and wore yellow clothing. Chow didn't complete his statement, but I had a feeling I knew what had happened. Could it be that the rock I was sitting on that day was where the girl died, and when I fell into the water, I became ensnared by the girl's ghost? I wasn't sure whether that was the case, but I didn't dare to think about it, so I told myself to try to forget. I didn't know if it was a coincidence, but when the girl's corpse was picked up, my condition progressively improved. For the following 4 years of my academic career, I went to the beach to enjoy the lovely landscape, but I also realized that the water, although beautiful, was also quite hazardous.